La educación continua es un must para todo aquel profesional que busca aprender nuevas habilidades para su trabajo. Y aunque abunden las plataformas y modelos de aprendizaje disponibles, existe una empresa que ha logrado destacar sobre otras al unir la tecnología con la curación de contenido de aprendizaje.
Hi, can I have 2 sparkling waters?
There you go.
Thank you.
Esto es Norte Digital, la primera serie de entrevistas en México producida por Grupo Financiero Banorte, que marca el rumbo de la transformación digital.
We are here at Udemy offices in downtown San Francisco with Melissa Daimler, Chief Learning Officer of Udemy. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for receiving us. It's a great pleasure being here. I brought you water. As you heard, we start with the drinking preferences of our guest. Mm-hmm. So now it's water time.
Too early for cerveza. Well, first of all, thank you for being here. It's great to talk with you, and thank you for being a customer. I have been the Chief Learning Officer here for about a year and a half, and just in that time period, we've gone through a lot of transformation as a learning company. What we do is provide online learning for both technical skills and business skills. And I think, while the pandemic was so hard for us globally, I think for certain companies like Udemy, it was an opportunity for people when a lot of us were stuck in our homes to take full advantage of what learning online was and how I can learn from just the flexibility of being in my home. Mm-hmm. And so I think it was during that time period where we saw a lot of growth in our company. E-learning, when it first came around, probably 15 years ago, was not a great experience. And we basically tried to take learning in the classroom and just put it into an online learning experience without thinking through the design and a more intentional learning experience. And so what we've built now are learning experiences by instructors through our marketplace model who are subject matter expertise and fresh content and relevance that they can immediately post things on Udemy for people to learn very quickly in a way that it's fun and engaging. It's not just lectures that we used to see all the time and people talking at us, but it's an opportunity to engage with others and engage with different learning assessments and labs along the way.
And how to deal with the thousands, because there are thousands of
hundreds
of thousands of opportunities to learn, and how to keep me focused. What are your recommendations on that?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that our model is different in that, we do have relevant and fresh content. I was just looking at the number of courses we have just on ChatGPT is over 1,000 courses now. We have over 200,000 courses in our platform. So to your point, I think one of the things that has shifted as a head of learning or chief learning officer, even in the last 5 years, has been moving from content creator to content curator. And so the ability to curate the right course, the right knowledge, the right set of skills that I need my employees to learn right now in their role, I think is crucial. And so part of what we do with a number of our teams here, our customer success teams, is work with companies and figure out, based on the skills you want to develop, and based on the hundreds of thousands of courses we have, how can we help map those two together and figure out learning paths that are relevant and appropriate for your particular learners. Mm-hmm. So curation, I think, is a key piece that I know we focus on as a company, and I know as a learning leader, I'm always looking at.
One of the things that it's happening at least in the formal education process with this artificial intelligence fever that we are seeing with the ChatGPTs.
Yeah.
We see two trends, and there may be a lot of trends between those two positions. One is avoid the artificial intelligence and keep investigating and do your work and go to the library and read books and so on. And the other is use ChatGPT or use whatever artificial intelligence you can. What are your thoughts about that? It's one or the other, it's in the middle. Should we foster using that? Because at the end, it's something that is going to be our new life.
And I think this is relevant for any leader today, is this idea of polarity thinking, that we need to think about things not just in an either or, but in an and. And so I think there are huge benefits to AI and large language models and taking full advantage of what that could be, and also being aware of the downfalls of that, of some of the ways that we could misuse it. So I think there's not a right or wrong, but I think we have to educate ourselves to figure out how to use this.
Well, let me jump to a section that we call the rapid fire. So
Okay.
I will make you some questions and
Okay.
whatever the first thing that comes to your mind. The must-take course that every leader should take in Udemy.
I love a course actually by somebody on my team, Coaching for Engagement and Inclusion. He does a great, everybody asks me, like, what is the number one skill that every employee needs to know? I think it's coaching. So the ability to ask questions, the ability to actively listen, those are core skills no matter what job you have, what role, what function, wherever you are in the world. So coaching for engagement and inclusion.
Perfect. I will take it. Speaking about the tech industry, who do you admire?
I admire Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. I think he's been doing a lot of amazing things, not just on the business side, but of course on the cultural side of the house. He is known to say that he doesn't like know-it-alls, he likes learn-it-alls. And so he really focuses on, failing fast, but more importantly, learning fast.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Last book you read?
The last book I read is one that I've read before, but I just read it again because Jerry Colonna actually came to an offsite that we did last week. It's called Reboot. And he was an investor, an entrepreneur, executive. And his whole point of the book is that you need to continue to do radical self-inquiry your entire life. And so as a leader, how do you make sure that you're showing up in the way that you want to show up with your team and in the organization?
And the last one, what was the most astonishing innovation you remember as a kid?
Yeah, I had to think about this one. Compact discs were that's making me look so old. But moving from the cassette tapes to having compact discs and being able to have a disc man and just not have to worry about and the whole Walkman was a huge innovation at the time. Yeah.
In the last one, we talked with Simon Borrero, who's the CEO of Rappi, the delivery company in Latin America. And we asked him the question that I will ask you later, what he will ask for the next guest in this series that we are recording. And he made a very good point that what is your company doing to help the people to improve their life, to do social escalation?
Our mission is to improve lives through learning. And so this whole company was started based on democratizing learning, allowing everybody to get the education and build the skills that they needed to do whatever they wanted to in the world. And so I think from a social impact standpoint, we're also looking at ways that we can help around the world. We provided free Udemy courses to folks in Ukraine and still do that. We're looking at some partnerships even locally in San Francisco to educate the homeless population here. So I think as a business, we're trying to make sure that we're continuing to be competitive, but we're also looking at, how can we contribute to the world?
And what will be the question that you would like to do to our next guest?
Yeah, this will be no surprise to you, but I would like to know how culture helps drive learning strategies in his or her organization.
For everybody, Melissa has a book named Reculturing, very recommendable. I asked my team to get a copy of the book so Melissa can sign it and we can give it to our next guest. Please, Melissa.
Oh, thank you.
Please, if you can
Sure.
help us.
Sure. Thank you.
In this new episode of Norte Digital, we learned that in every other industry, education is also being democratized. A lot of people can take advantage of it. So see you in the next Norte Digital episode.